You know what time it is?
What time is it?
Second take time, baby. All right, this week on Second Take, we're going to do what offseason move will have the biggest impact this year. Not what was the best move this offseason. What offseason move will have the biggest impact on that team this season in 2019. So you want to start us off?
Sure. I went with a little different approach.
Okay. As you always do.
Yes. I didn't go with a single player. I went with a team, and I chose the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. They made two very significant switches in their team. They replaced Alex Collins with Mark Ingram.
I'd say that's an upgrade.
That's definitely an upgrade. And they replaced Eric Weddle with Earl Thomas, which I would say is also an upgrade. He's younger. He's had better seasons. Mm-hmm. And, maybe he won't flip them off.
He came out and said he doesn't regret doing that.
I don't regret it either, but I wouldn't regret it either.
I mean, Pete Carroll's not the one doing contract negotiations, though. That's where my problem is.
I get that. But, I mean...
I love you, Earl. I'm happy you got the money. All right. I'm happy you didn't go to San Francisco like Richard Sherman, traitor. But,
I mean,
congratulations.
Last season, in the 4 games, Earl Thomas had 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, 5 passes defended, 16 solos.
Yeah.
You want to know what Eric Weddle had?
What?
0 picks in 16 games. 0 picks, 0 TDs, 3 passes defended. He had a sack and 54 solos. Both averaged to 4 tackles a game. So, Earl Thomas was just much better.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. I think Rob Gronkowski could do better at safety.
Than Eric Weddle.
Yeah. At that point. We all saw the Miami Miracle, how that worked out. Good job, Bill.
Yep.
Oh, my God. So you went with the entire Baltimore Ravens offseason.
Well, I mean, just those 2 in particular.
Yeah.
Because those will also have, the biggest. You finally have a solid RB1.
I know.
I mean, Alex Collins, he'd have his weeks.
Yeah, Alex Collins was actually a Seahawk. We just didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't use him.
You tend to get rid of your talent.
I mean,
besides Russell Wilson, you tend to get rid of your talent.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, because we're not a team that gets rid of talent but doesn't have talent. Because we have talent on the team, but, so anyway. Yeah. He wasn't the greatest in our system. I just think with the John Harbaugh system, he kind of fit in there.
You tend not to utilize your running backs. There was an instance in a Super Bowl when you easily could have utilized one of your running backs.
We're not going to get into that, Matt.
And he threw an interception.
I don't remember that, actually.
Oh.
I don't remember that. It's like I blocked it from my brain or something.
Yeah. And if you look at both their stats the last 2 seasons, Mark Ingram significantly outplays Alex Collins.
Definitely. Mark Ingram was...
and now instead of having to compete with Kamara, he has to compete with Lamar Jackson.
And Gus Edwards.
Yeah, but Lamar's the starting running back.
Yeah.
So,
basically at this point.
Yeah. So I think he could be in for a really good year.
He's going to have a good year, yeah.
If he goes back to his form,
yeah.
I think he could be a top 10 running back this year.
Mm-hmm. He's the best back they've had probably since, that one magical year with Justin Forsett.
He's probably the best back they've had since Ray Rice. Yeah.
Hopefully this one, maybe stay away from elevators, Mark Ingram.
Yeah. Who'd you pick?
All right. I went with kind of an obvious one. I didn't go with an under the radar one. I went with Le'Veon Bell.
My boy.
The Jets. You did go. Yeah, it's Michigan State. Le'Veon Bell.
That's my boy.
We get it. So the Jets, they really haven't had this caliber of a running back since LT, the Rex Ryan years.
Yeah, and LT wasn't even really what he was.
LT wasn't LT. Yeah, he was at the end of his career.
You could say they really haven't had this talent since Curtis Martin. Which was the early 2000s. We were still babies. Yeah. I had a Curtis Martin jersey.
Really?
Yeah. I was a Jets fan in my youth. And for 1 year, I was a Jets fan. I was a Jets and Mets fan because I rebelled against my family, who are Giants and Yankees fans. And then after 1 year, I was like, this is just not working. This is just not working. I was 5.
Sanchez.
No, it was before.
Oh, it's like Chad Pennington years?
Yeah, I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, this is old.
The Jets are so bad. They really have not.
The
football gods have not been kind to the Jets.
No, since Super Bowl III.
It's in Super Bowl 3, and
But I mean, they have Kelechi Osemele, and they just got Ryan Khalil.
they got Ryan Khalil out of retirement.
I mean, maybe Le'Veon could have a good year.
Things
this
are looking
year.
up. People are raving about Sam Darnold in practice. He's having some great practices.
I mean, after his first throw, it couldn't really get much worse. Do you remember his first throw in the regular season?
A pick six.
It was a
against the
pick
Lions,
six,
right?
yes. So, I mean, he really could only go up from there.
Yeah.
But, I think the Jets have, they need better wide receivers.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson's not cut.
No, he is not
Quincy
cut.
Nunwa.
No. If they could get some solid wide receivers, they could mean business.
They could. Yeah. So good for the Jets. I mean, it's going to help Sam Darnold tremendously.
Absolutely.
To have a running back that caliber. It's just going to take so much pressure off of him. Le'Veon Bell's basically a wide receiver, so anytime he doesn't see anybody, he's going to have that check down.
Well, that was part of his argument with the Steelers was I'm arguably the best running back in the NFL, and I'm arguably the second best wide receiver on your team.
Yeah.
This was before Juju was really Juju.
Yeah, Juju had just come in kind of when he was making this argument.
Yeah.
So, which is true. I mean,
He
was the second best wide receiver on that team. He'll probably be the best wide receiver on the Jets, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's that bad. The Jets, I mean, their best receiver, Robbie Anderson, yeah, but like
who was their tight end? I don't
Chris
know.
Herndon.
Yeah.
Was their tight end who kind of broke out, if you want to say that. But
He was okay.
He was okay. He had a couple good games. I wouldn't call it a breakout.
Yeah.
I'd call it a better than you thought he was going to be kind of deal.
I think the definition of a breakout last year was Jared Cook.
Jared Cook.
Just like out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I think another Raider's going to have a pretty big year because of a similar situation to what Jared Cook had with being the only good wide receiver. I mean, not wide receiver, but receiver in that offense. So, but we're going to get into that later. So, yeah, I mean, we have yet to see what Adam Gase can do with an elite running back. He didn't have an elite running back. He had Matt Forte in Chicago, but Matt Forte was, again, at the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
He had Jay Ajayi for a cup of tea in Miami, but that was... He got rid of him, and Jay Ajayi is not...
Yeah, he was not what he used to be. He's not what he used to be.
He had one... I mean, we used to be...
He had the one really
loosely,
good year.
He had one good year where he had he had a good beginning of that year.
Didn't he have like something like 3 200-yard games back to back to back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Something like that. It was 2 or 3.
Jay Ajayi, yeah, that's really when he came on the scene, and people were like, "Oh my god!" But
and then it left.
And then it gone with the wind.
Yeah.
That I don't know what happened with that. He got a ring. He was lucky enough to get a ring. Is Jay Ajayi still with the Eagles? I don't even know where he is anymore.
I don't know. I mean, Jordan Howard's their starting back.
Yeah.
So
I have no
and
idea.
Miles Sanders is their backup.
I
so
have no idea where Jay Ajayi is right
Yeah.
now. So anyway, but in 12 games in 2016, like he had 1,200 yards and 600 yards receiving.
that's insane.
That's insane. And then he had the same stat line in 15 games in 2017. So people don't sleep on Le'Veon Bell, okay? He sat out a year. I know we have a tendency to, what have you done for me lately, to forget about these kind of things. But Le'Veon Bell is still going to be one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. I think people are they're down on him because of what he did.
I think part of the reason why people are down on him is because James Conner had that year last year.
Yeah, because...
And then the third string back did what James Conner was doing in those 2 or 3 weeks. So
they were
everyone
kinda
was like, is it the backs or is it the line?
Is it the system? Yeah. And I still think it was partially... I think it's kind of a Tom Brady, Bill Belichick situation where...
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both. Like, yes, the system's helping tremendously, but Le'Veon Bell took that to another level. Like, James Conner, I think, would be a 800, 900-yard kind of back on any other team, but because he's on the Steelers, he's a 1,000-yard back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Steelers have that caliber of a line. I think Mike Tomlin runs a very good rushing offense, as we've seen. The Steelers, I mean, what they did with D'Angelo Williams a couple of years ago when he came in for Le'Veon Bell, he took the league by storm.
And then he went to WWE.
And he went to WWE. Getting back on topic. So, yeah. Le'Veon Bell is going to help the Jets.
Absolutely.
So,
I think anything will just about help the Jets.
Yeah, anything will help the Jets at this point. So, congratulations, Jets fans. You have hope. All right, Sam Darnold's looking good. Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. Just got to get some receivers at some point. At some point.
And for the Ravens, maybe with these additions, you could say beat the Chargers in the playoffs in a hypothetical matchup. Like in the last playoffs, I mean, they kind of smuggled. They kind of you couldn't do anything.
You couldn't.
Until the very, very end. But maybe with these additions, helps you out on both sides of the football.
Yeah. So Jets fans, you got something to look forward to. Don't get too cocky just yet because you're still the Jets.
You are still the Jets.
Let's
the Giants will always be better
on that
than you.
one. You guys did just take Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but it's like the Yankees and the Mets. The Mets could go like 100. They could go like 161 and 1.
Yeah.
But the Yankees, they're the Yankees.
Are
They're the Yankees, so they're gonna be better.
Yeah. Okay, I get.
Yeah, you
I
get
get
where I'm
that.
going.
All right, but I honestly think the best team in New York though is the Bills. At this point,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the Jets. I
No,
don't think
it's
it's the
not.
Giants at this point. Like,
It's probably you're right. It's probably the
it's
Bills.
probably the Bills. So, good job, Jets fans. You did something right, even though you're overpaid for him. Moving on.